Back with Bobby and JG Radio. We're talking everything adoption and foster. We had two excellent conversations with Ines Picazo. She talked about all the different procedures and everything that they do. If you missed any of that, you go to bobbyandjjradio.com. Be a fan of the show. You can go to our Instagram and go to our Facebook page and be. You can like our page and get updates. We will be on SoundCloud on Mondays. You can stream or download the show. And if you want to see these beautiful faces that we're interviewing today, you can just wait a couple weeks and it'll be on YouTube, on our YouTube page, and then you can see that as well. So our next, we have two guests. One's very important. I'm going to just hold that for a little bit. But we have two guests. First one is Brenda Maestas, and she's the adoption coordinator with DePelchin. I always mess that up, I think. She's the first bilingual caseworker. She's been with CFN for 8 years, and she oversees adoption processes and has been doing that for 6 years. How are you today, Brenda?
I'm doing well, thank you.
And I know you've chimed in a little bit earlier, and we appreciate everything. The next special guest that we have, she's going to talk to us a little bit about the first person experience of adoption is Miss Elva Gallegos. How are you, Elva?
Good, thank you. So
Elva, she's a stay-at-home mom. Her husband is Jesus, and he's a physician, and they wanted to grow
internal medicine.
Internal medicine. we just learned is kind of like adult.
18 and over.
Yeah. Type of medicine. And she wanted to grow their family through adoption, and they figured the best way to do so was through this program. She has adopted 4 children, which is amazing.
And she was actually one of the emergency.
She's one of the emergency
foster parents
that we're talking about. Yeah, she has Angel, Emma, Aiden, which is now Joaquin, and Melissa. Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome. So, questions about adoptions. What are some of the standards and qualifications that the families have to meet, Brenda, to become just like Miss Elva Gallegos here?
Well, they're the same as the standards that Ines spoke about for foster parents. Okay. We do dual license all of our homes, so they are all foster to adopt.
Gotcha.
So they have to go through all of the training. They have to have a home study,
sure,
which is just all the history of the family and then where they are currently.
Right.
And they have to, go through background checks.
Right.
All
references.
All of the same
FBI.
Yes.
Check and all that kind of stuff. So
I guess I'm out.
Yeah, I think so. Right. And how is the private adoption? How is that different than the foster to adopt?
Well, private adoptions, DePelchin Children's Services, we do have an infant adoption program.
Okay.
And that would be a biological mother that would come to the agency and say, I want to give my child up for adoption.
Sure.
This is not a woman whose child is going to be taken away from her.
Sure.
It's not a case of abuse or neglect. She's just looking at giving the child up for adoption.
Doing the right thing, yeah.
Right. And so then we would have waiting families that are waiting to do that.
Sure. So, Elva, first of all, thank you for being on the show. In such short notice, by the way, too. I think
they let her know last night at 6 o'clock, and she's like, all right, I'll do it.
The cause is so important to her, and obviously she's such an expert at it that she's like, I'll be there in a couple hours and help you guys out.
That just shows how awesome
she is. Awesome. So, first of all, thank you so much for being with us. But tell us about your experience with the fostering and the adoptions here with through the state of Texas.
It's been a roller coaster because when you start, it's hard to fill all the paperwork and everything.
Right.
But when you done all that, it's very joyful of having kids that need a house. Absolutely. To actually help them and on anything they need.
Yeah.
And I say roller coaster because we were a foster adopt home, but sometimes the kids will only stay for a couple of months, and you get attached to the kids, and they just leave. But it's fun to help other kids in need.
That must be tough. Yeah, you have a kid and you help and you get attached, and then all of a sudden, hey, gotta go.
Did you specifically want a gender, or did it really matter? You were just kind of open to.
We kind of sort of did the gender based because we had on our last one we had 2 boys and a girl, and we wanted 2 boys and 2 girls.
I gotcha.
So we actually wanted kids from ages 0 to 3,
right,
so they can grow up together.
Yeah, and so like you're saying, the roller coaster ride that you were experiencing sometimes is because you have to understand that until everything's finalized.
Yes, you have to have the idea that you actually only kind of sort of babysitting.
Right.
You're their mom, but
Right.
they're not yours. You're
Right.
just taking care of them
Sure.
until they are actually final.
And so if I was going through this, Elva, what advice would you give me? Just to kind of just know that it's temporary until it's not. Is there anything else, any other advice you'd give me?
I will say go for it, because you never know what brings you to this. But if you really need a child and you have a lot of love to give,
Sure.
just go ahead and
That's
go
me.
for it. Yeah.
That's me. And it sounds very rewarding. You're really helping out a lot
Thank
of children.
you.
It sounds very rewarding.
Go ahead and go for it. And
How's this changed your life? I mean, so when did this whole journey start?
8 years.
8 years ago.
Yes,
How
with
different
that.
is your life now? From
A
eight-
lot.
A lot
Cause,
different.
because everybody's in school and running around like crazy.
Sure.
And
And so,
from being by yourself with your husband. It's just-
right. And how does what if you don't mind? What are the age ranges that from Angel, Emma, 8,
6, 5, 3, and 1.
6, 5, 3, and 1? So you have some in starting school, well, 2 in
I
school.
have a kindergarten, a preschool, pre-K, and my baby.
And then the baby. So you don't sleep much, huh?
Yes, they sort of.
Yeah, you kind
Sort of.
That's awesome.
You get used to it.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show. We love
you.
stories here at Bobby and JJ Radio because we know when it's real, and it's a real story, then people really have a connection. It's actually kind of making me excited. I'm not going to tell my wife that we're going to foster anyone because she'll kill me. But I think once you get the real story from someone in their first person perspective, you can kind of understand the process and how it's fulfilling and how it changes lives. And if you are looking to be part of any of this, obviously you can go and try to get a hold of Brenda, or they can get a hold of Ines, and they can go to cfntexas.com. It's probably where they can get the most information. Again, that's cfntexas.com.